What's up, YouTube? What's up, guys? It's been another day. It's been another long day of me low key over feeling over responsible about other people. Like I hate this feeling, and maybe I'm gonna put my thoughts super honestly out here. Whenever you speaking with an adult, me personally, when I'm speaking with an adult, someone that's old enough to be my dad, I kind of like have this sweet voice which I put on. Like literally, this how I am. Like they're maggots or my true self or my true self. The closer I get to them, the more I lose authenticity, and the more I start behaving in this weird way where I'm like trying to show respect. And I'm not saying anything's wrong with it, but sometimes your respect can go to the degree whereby you don't even know how to behave with adults. Because when you graduate and you leave high school, you used to being a child. You've never been introduced into the adult world, and you're still going to be seeing people older than you as adults, and like you literally be seeing older people run over you and you thinking it's like okay because maybe you had your parents always used to like stop you from being disrespectful, tell you not to swear, tell you to speak good with people. And if you have to, if like other people are doing it on you, because those other people, they might not even have kids, so they just they can swear a child and an adult, they won't feel the difference. It's just like any talking to anyone for them. And then you, on the other hand, you hear, you have so much respect and all. You see an adult talking to you, that adult who can speak anyway to anyone, speaks to you in a bad way. You're gonna be thinking like, oh snap, this guy is old enough to be my parent. I gotta show respect, bro. I have to show respect to this guy. Like I can't shout this guy back. I can't tell this guy my true opinions. If he tells me to do something, I cannot go against it. Because that's how I was brought up in my house. Like I was brought up to follow rules and respect. And those are all good values. But it also doesn't teach you how to interact with the real world when you leave the house. It taught me to show respect to my family and to my parents, and I truly appreciate that. And I'll always show respect to my family and my parents, especially my parents. But I also need to get out of that shell a little bit and have a form of defense. You should be able to speak up for yourself, defend yourself, because that's my story. That's what goes on with my life. And like anything else, I'm sure someone else is going through the same problem out there. And for me, that's what it is. Not knowing how to actually be like, yo, bro, I don't care if you're an adult. I'm like trying to have a mature conversation with you. Listen here, I don't like the way you did this. Can you not do it the next time? You know, if you don't speak to your parents like that, I, and I, I've read a lot of books on things like how much effect your father has on you, how much effect your mother has on you, all these type of books. And I just realized, I don't have the ability, like me and my dad. Like my dad was always this type of force whereby like I couldn't like you know if he's in a room, you bow your head down. I'm just saying that metaphorically, it wasn't so strict, but like basically that's the idea. You don't speak. If he's in the house is quiet. If he goes out, the house gets noisy. It's just how it operates. And now if I have to speak with people out there in the real world, I don't speak with authenticity. I hide my voice. I speak softer than usual. I start to speak a little bit like sweet. I try and make my voice super sweet and like unintimidating. Hey man, how you doing? And I throw out all these heavy smiles which make my face ache so much, bro. My face aches so much from those smiles. It's so difficult, and I hate living life that way. And every single morning when I get up, I was like, think it's so hard. It feels so wrong because it's guilty. It feels like guilt. You know, Speaking to someone differently feels guilty. Standing up for yourself, you feel guilty. You feel like I'm doing the wrong thing. And now, obviously, if you're feeling guilty, especially us as AKA good children, you know, being guilty is like super, super, the feeling of guilt and shame is super detrimental, and it's super destructive towards us. Like, if we feel guilty about something, it's going to be so strong. Like, it's not just going to be like, ah, man, you did something wrong. You like, you be like breaking a rule. Like, if a child comes from a super strict house and they've never ever smoked, they've never ever done drugs, they've never ever done anything illicit, and all of a sudden they take a whiff of a cigarette, and then they go home and the parents smell it on them. The amount of guilt, fear, and shame that will be running in them will be out of this world. That's basically my case. But my case is with social scenarios. Like if I had to open my mouth towards my father or even my mother, my parents, I'll feel that same guilt as that kid who's been super secured and never smoked a cigarette or anything. I'll be exactly the same. Like I'll literally like it's the same thing. It just my case is with social situations, and it's that's like another reason. Come to think of it, that's why it's also super like so hard to be real. You know, when people be like, "Be real with me, bro. Be real with me, bro. Tell me the truth, bro." You know, being real feels guilty because being real means that you, first of all, you're gonna be vulnerable, and second of all, you might potentially offend another person. And if you grow up with those values, you'll be like, offending people so bad, bro. I cannot offend anyone. I'm gonna have to say, I'm gonna have to go out of my way, even if it means I get hurt, just to not offend anyone. And you can't live life that way. It's super annoying. And that's a goal which I'm trying to achieve. You know, guilt should not stop me from being social. Thank you guys for watching this video. Love you guys, and if you have the same problem, keep working on yourselves. Never stop. You know, we're all in this together. Love you guys. See you in the next one, and subscribe if you want to. And let's get